So it's been about 4 years of me doing YouTube. I'm not monetized, and if you ask me, I would still tell you to start a YouTube channel because there are so many things that I got out of it that have nothing to do with money. I'm gonna give you 5 of them. Stay for the last one because that one took me all this time to realize, and I wish I'd known it sooner. Thing number 1 is I have become so much more confident in front of cameras. And it's not just this camera going on YouTube, but it's also Zoom calls, it's interviews. For example, the interview that I had to do to get my consulting job. It's also stuff like just public speaking in person to large audiences. It is crazy for me to think that I have now presented to, for example, meetings with 300 attendees, and I have done it nicely and confidently. I enjoyed it. I was, for the longest time, incredibly shy and quiet about speaking publicly. I would have so many nerves beforehand. And I think now I still have the nerves a little bit, but I really enjoy it. I have facilitated workshops with clients and I have led meetings with very senior people. And I think even though I can't attribute all of it to YouTube, because of course it's all life experience, it's my work experience, it's practicing that skill and that muscle, but I do think YouTube has played a part in it. And if you do start a channel, at first it's gonna be very tough to get a nice take where you speak eloquently and continuously without overdoing it like 10 different times and feeling like your words are not coming out right. As time goes on, you will just get better at it. Thing number 2 is overcoming the fear of judgment. And overcoming might be a big word. You don't have to overcome it, but you learn to do things despite having that fear. If you have thought about starting a YouTube channel, or if you have just started it, you know the dread of pressing publish for the first time and putting yourself out there. It takes guts to do that, and I know it full well because I was hesitant for the longest time, for months in fact, until I actually did it. If you do it, if you basically make that leap and you put yourself out there, it's gonna get easier to become a doer, and I think that's gonna serve you really well in life generally. It's being afraid and still doing the thing, thinking that someone will judge you and then going for it nonetheless. And I'm gonna tell you, it's not been an easy journey for me to actually not be scared of people's judgment. When I first started, it was only a handful of people that knew that I have a channel and I'm starting to post stuff on it. It was my family, only a few people in my family, and my closest friends, my closest people. Probably in total not more than like five or six people. Then the next stage was for me to start saying it a bit more to my wider circle of friends. It did take me a few years to actually share on social media the fact that I now do YouTube, and I was terrified. It is objectively not a comfortable thing to do. So once you make that leap, I think you'll get more comfortable at making those leaps more generally, and that's a very useful skill to have in life. Number 3 is perseverance. It does have to do with the fact that it has been 4 years and I'm not monetized, and I very much would like to be. However, I am nowhere near giving up. In fact, it makes me even more determined to get there, and I know that I will. If I stick to it long enough and I try and maintain consistency, I will get there. So that's my goal for myself. And it is an exercise in perseverance and being stubborn, but in the best way possible. Just being stubborn when it comes to the stuff you want to make work. Because often things do take years of practice, years of consistency. And of course, there are a lot of people who get there way sooner than me. But it's fine by me. And I think I'm on my own journey. And when I get there, it will be really rewarding because it's not been easy. It's not been quick by any means. It's taken so much effort, and I don't even know how I did it the first year, because the first year and a half or so of my YouTube journey, I was consistently posting every single week. It took lots of sleepless nights or late nights. It took a lot of not going somewhere, sacrificing plans to actually spend the time on editing because at the beginning, you're both very bad at it, so it takes you a long time, and you're also bad at speaking, so it takes more editing for you to get a video ready. It's an exercise in just staying dedicated to your goal. Number 4 is YouTube forces you to spend some intentional time on brainstorming and creativity. And I think that's nice because I don't get to do it often when I'm in my kind of autopilot zone with work and with my usual things that I do in a week, with dance classes and gym and socializing with friends. There's very little time left in between, but having to come up with ideas for YouTube videos, it really forces me to spend some time thinking about ideas. I sometimes use the time on my commute to think about ideas and maybe drop down a few bullet points for a video. There have also been times where I really feel stuck, like a creative block of sorts, where I feel bored with what I'm creating. I also feel a bit lost with, what the hell is my niche? What is my brand? And then I have several times, for example, as part of a solo trip that I was going on, I would intentionally say that I'll spend at least one day just ideating for YouTube. And that's been really nice. It takes some time to get into the flow of things, but once you do, it's great to have that because naturally our lives don't really have that time unless you make it. Final one that took me years to realize. I really see that I need to work smart and not hard because hard work is not always the thing that gets you to a goal. My goal being monetization. I've been working really hard to just put the videos out where I think I'm adding value. I'm talking about something that can help someone, for example, my experience in consulting and sharing what a day looks like. For me at the moment, working smart means dedicating more time to titles and thumbnails. I've not done as much of, oh, here's a title that has really worked for someone. It's an outlier in the algorithm and it's brought a lot of traffic to that video. How about I do the spin on that, my own take on that? That's what I'm doing with this one, actually. So we'll see if that does any better or not. But I think I want to spend more time on that research part and not as much time on editing, because for me that's going to do two things, hopefully. One is it helps me maintain consistency, which I've fallen off of, and I want to give my videos slightly better chance to do well by doing more research into titles and thumbnails and just optimizing for that. I think you might enjoy also watching this video from the Coffee Chat series if you've enjoyed this one. Let me know your thoughts if you're also a YouTuber, a small YouTuber, or maybe not anymore. Maybe you've already built a following and you have gone through the dip that comes before you actually reach success. Let me know how you've done it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.